It's time to take one step back now. Think. Not destroy the engine. The dyno needs some adjusting, probably the PID loop or maybe limiting the maximum current. Next video though, I'm gonna run it in like pure inertia mode, and then we should get some baseline numbers from that engine. We can start playing with some parameters regardless of the dyno being in inertia or brake mode. I'll talk about said parameters, but first a little rundown of what we're working with here. If you're not familiar, what you're looking at here is a 50cc supercharged, externally scavenged, rotary exhaust valve, two-stroke engine, run on methanol and nitromethane. It's strapped to my in-progress brake dyno. My concept is this: the blower draws through the carb, feeds in much more mixture than the cylinder can consume, flushes the cylinder of exhaust gas, filling it up with fresh mix. The rotary valve closes off the exhaust duct at bottom dead center, allowing the blower to start building pressure in the cylinder. Not like in a normal two-stroke where there's a gaping hole here all the time while the transfers are open. Here it's closed by that rotary valve. I've drawn the transfers wrong. They're actually just shy of the same height as the exhaust port. Blower keeps feeding the cylinder until the pressure here and here in the plenum, or crankcase in this case, is equalized. Then the piston takes over and starts compressing the mixture in the cylinder. The rear valve keeps this higher pressure from bleeding off to the lower pressure down here. We have combustion and the rotary valve is fully open before the piston uncovers the exhaust port. The higher pressure is kept from entering the plenum or crankcase by the rear valve until pressure in the cylinder is lower than in the plenum. Then the blower can start forcing mixture into the cylinder again. Then this cycle repeats. Dump valve is here to prevent explosion in case of a backfire. It's also used as a crude form of boost control. I plan to do the boost control with the blower ratio later on. I want to thank the Ridge wallet for sponsoring this video and sending me their awesome wallet. It's really solid and protects your cards well, as opposed to my old wallet, which destroyed them. It's the perfect size, just as large as it needs to be, but not larger. Just really cool. Lifetime warranty, holds up to 12 cards, plus cash. Comes in a bunch of different styles and colors. This is bare aluminium. Head to ridge.com/2strokestuffing and use the code 2strokestuffing to get 10% off. Thank you, the Ridge. Parameters to play with and stuff that might need to be fixed. Fueling. The carb might be running out of fuel under load. There might be some trouble with feeding pulses to the pump from the pressurized plenum. It might not be pumping enough. Should try to take a signal from the exhaust instead. That might work. If it's running out of fuel. Could switch this carb out for a large float bowl carb. Maybe add some power jets or EFI. That's a possibility. Could be it's not running out of fuel at all, but fuel is actually puddling down here, causing it to run overly rich and just cutting out. Kinda hard to know with this engine, because I don't know how it's supposed to sound. Rich or lean or whatever. Boost pressure is currently set at the lowest I can go with this wastegate. 0.3, 0.4 bars. Should start shimming the spring, giving it more pressure. Or add a boost controller, electronic or just a bleed valve. Ignition timing is set to a 15 degrees flat line. That's probably far too little advanced. I have a suspicion this will act more like a 4-stroke without the pipe and all that. Probably need to up that to closer to maybe 30, 40 degrees, maybe even more with the nitro and stuff. There's definitely power to be had here. We don't know. Maybe it acts like a 2-stroke. At 15 degrees, that sounds like far too little advance. Could play with the rotary valve timing. It's set at what I think is a good starting point, but it's probably room for improvement here. Keep in mind, this is just the first prototype and it leaves much to be desired in the flow department, especially in the cylinder, which is more designed to be easily machinable on my limited tools than for flow. So there's a bunch of improvements possible in there. We will have to fix and redesign stuff that breaks along the way. We've already replaced all the 3D printed carbon fiber nylon parts. They wouldn't seal properly. We replaced parts of the drive mechanism for the rotary valve, because it would slip. We had to add copper O-rings between the two cylinder parts to keep water from seeping into the exhaust duct. And we've now replaced the head, which ripped in 2 pieces. Probably not the last time something breaks. Exciting times. The plan now is to run it on the dyno in inertia mode and get some numbers, some baseline numbers. And I should have a video out in just a few days now, I think. See you next time.